All right, let's talk about one of the most famous fish you'll ever see in an aquarium, the guppy. Now you might think it's just a guppy, right? Simple, common, but there is so much more to it. We're talking about a story that's packed with amazing diversity, a trip around the globe, and even a bit of controversy. So you gotta wonder, right? How did this tiny little fish from South American streams become this global superstar? It's not just one thing, it's this wild mix of biology, history, and, well, us. And this fish has lived so many lives, it's picked up a bunch of different names along the way. For example, down in places like Argentina and Uruguay, they might call it the lebistes, kind of a throwback to its scientific roots. Then you hop over to Trinidad, and suddenly it's the millionfish. And believe me, that's no joke. It's all about their incredible, and I mean incredible, ability to multiply. And of course, the one we all kind of know it as, the rainbow fish. I mean, just look at them. The colors, the patterns, it's like a living, swimming piece of art. Okay, so let's rewind. How exactly did this millionfish go from its home in South America to basically taking over the world's aquariums? So, the guppy, its fancy name is Poecilia reticulata, is this tough little fish from the warm waters of places like Venezuela and the Caribbean. And right away, you can see why it was a hit for fish keepers. It's tough, it's beautiful, a perfect match. But its story, it goes way beyond just being a pretty face in a tank. You know, before it was famous as a pet, the guppy was actually a soldier in the fight for public health. Seriously, people put them in waterways all over the world for one simple reason. They are absolute machines when it comes to eating mosquito larvae. Think about that, a cheap, natural way to fight back against diseases like dengue and malaria. And here's a mind-blowing fact that explains why they're so diverse. Get this, a guppy has 23 pairs of chromosomes. Sound familiar? That's the exact same number as humans. It's this wild genetic coincidence that unlocks the potential for all those crazy colors, patterns, and fin shapes we see. And all that genetic potential? Well, it leads us right here. The guppy isn't just one kind of fish. It's like a living, swimming kaleidoscope with hundreds upon hundreds of different looks. I mean, think about it. Thanks to fish keepers and breeders working for decades, there are now more than 300 officially recognized types of guppies. Over 300! For just one species. That is absolutely wild. You can really see this diversity in the huge difference between the guys and the girls. The males, they're the flashy ones. They're smaller, sure, but they get all the spectacular colors and fancy fins. They've also got this special fin called a gonopodium that they use for mating. The females, though, are built for business. They're bigger, stronger, and in the wild, they have these duller colors that help them blend in and stay safe. Just look at their tails. It's a perfect showcase for this variety. In fact, tail shape is one of the main ways we classify them. You've got everything from these long, flowing fantails to short, defined ones like spade tails. And then you get these really cool geometric shapes, like the lyre tail or the double sword tail. The list just goes on and on. Okay, so maybe you're thinking, I want some of these. And I don't blame you. But here's the thing. Even though they're known as survivors, making them truly thrive means you gotta know what they need. So let's jump into the ultimate survivor's guide. The absolute #1 rule, stability. Guppies are tough, yeah, but they really do best in water that's warm. We're talking 28 to 30 degrees Celsius. They like it a little alkaline and what we call hard. But the most important thing, the thing you can't compromise on, those toxic things like nitrites have to be at 0, absolutely 0. And getting to that 0 nitrite mark is why this next part is so important for any new tank. It's called the nitrogen cycle. Basically, you set up your tank and let it run for about a month. This gives good bacteria time to grow in your filter, and you need these bacteria. They're what break down all the toxic fish waste. Seriously, if you add fish before this cycle is done, it's just not going to end well. But look, if you do it right, the payoff is huge. Out in the wild, with predators and everything else, a guppy's lucky to live for about 2 years. But in a good, stable aquarium, you can more than double that. We're talking up to 5 years. That's a big difference. But, and there's always a but, isn't there? The guppy story isn't all sunshine and rainbows. The exact things that make them such a great pet, how tough they are, how fast they breed, well, that has a real dark side. This quote really nails the problem. That same toughness that makes them perfect for a beginner's tank, it turns them into a super dangerous invasive species if they ever get out into the wild. And the dangers aren't just out there.
Even within the hobby, that constant push for new colors and fins can lead to a lot of inbreeding. And when you keep breeding related fish, you start seeing some major health issues. Things like bent spines, weak immune systems, and they just can't fight off parasites like they should.
And then what happens when they get into places they don't belong? It's a disaster. They breed so fast they just take over, pushing out the native fish for food and space. And even worse, they can carry diseases and viruses that the local wildlife has never seen before and has no way to fight.
So here we are at the real conflict in the guppy's story. Is it this amazing pet and helpful little mosquito eater, or is it a dangerous ecological threat? And the thing is, the answer to that question really comes down to us.
The responsibility here is 100% on the people who keep them. It's a pretty simple deal, but it's an absolute must. Rule number 1, never, and I mean ever, release your fish into a river or a lake. Rule 2, they're going to have a lot of babies, so you have to manage that. You can donate them, trade them, but you can't just let them overpopulate. And finally, even be careful with your old tank water. It could have tiny eggs or baby fry in it. So when you think about it, the guppy is so much more than just a fish. It's kind of a mirror, isn't it? It reflects back our own choices, its journey across the planet, the incredible beauty we've bred into it, and now the ecological danger it represents. That's all on us. It's all a result of human decisions. And its story really makes you stop and ask a bigger question. What is a real impact on the world all around us?